Good morning, good morning. Oh man, I can't say that. I have not wanted a Friday this bad in a long time, but it is Friday, 10 o'clock on the nose. This is Trooper Steve on patrol. We're live, hanging out inside Results One. Special guest webmaster. We got Penny behind the controls today. Always love having her around. And we're hanging out. Good morning, TGIF. Yes, Sue, giving us a little shout out there. Kevin, good morning. Everybody just giving us shout outs. Appreciate you guys. All right, so I figure we tackle something. Curtis, good morning to you. Yesterday we talked about merging, our regular visit of kind of that refresher. Last year we did it. I like to do annual reminders of things. The hydroplaning is a good one. Yesterday with merging, always a good one. You guys think merging onto I-4 at 30 miles an hour makes sense, so we got to fix that behavior. Today, we're going to go, this is such a stressful because it really ticks so many people off. So we have beautiful springs here in Central Florida. We have campgrounds, places you could take your tent and just pitch it up anywhere you want, really. But for whatever reason, we love just taking everything and just hanging out in the left lane, going camping in that left travel lane, roasting marshmallows, all that fun stuff. Now, obviously, I'm being mildly sarcastic here, but Florida lawmakers have tried for years to really, how do I want to say this, but almost rein in the left lane law and make it extremely detailed. But we've hit a few speed bumps over the years. So we're going to talk about how, people see Results One, they just want to hunk at it. But we're going to talk about what the current law says, what Florida lawmakers were trying to do with a few House bills, and then just hit the road real quick, talk about what I think you guys should be doing, what you can get pulled over for, and just the proper way we should be flowing along the roadway. So if you got your notepad out or you're taking notes, probably not. You probably just listen to me run my mouth here. But Florida Statute 316.081, it talks about everything left lane, where your vehicle should be, the flow of traffic, things like that. And when we talk about certain Florida laws, I like to read exactly from it because it is a law. So I've got it pulled up here. And so real quick, this is what it says exactly. 316.081, driving on right side of roadway exceptions. It's extremely long, and that's the problem. There are so many if this, if that, that it makes it very difficult from a law enforcement perspective to enforce it sometimes, if I'm being honest. So upon all roadways of sufficient width, a vehicle shall be driven of the right half of the roadway, except as the follows. And it gives 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different areas of just mumbo jumbo. When overtaking and passing a vehicle, when an obstruction exists, upon a divided with 3 lanes, designated or signposted for one-way traffic, upon all roadways, any vehicle proceeding in less than normal speed. So many things. And that's what was causing a lot of the confusion. So the past 2 years, they tried it in 2023, and then they tried it again in 2024, trying to revise some rules, or 2024 and in 2025. So last year, House Bill 317 and SB 258 were tried. And basically, they would have just flat out said, left lane passing only on anything 65 or greater. Meaning that you weren't even allowed to be in the lane. Clear. They would just put it in there. Governor said, nope, we're not doing that one. So a lot of people were like, okay, how do we fix this? So this year, House Bill 545, they tried something similar with some similar language, but that ended up dying in the committee. So it's got to pass the House, then get into committee, and the committee never even saw it. So what's the confusion, right? So the current law says you must move over, but like I said to you, there's so much wording that it makes it so vague. And that's the problem. The proposed bill aimed at making it very specific and designated that left lane as passing only. Right now, there's so many exceptions. It's such a pain. So bottom line is, it failed. It's still the same ghostly law that's in there. So what do I want to do? I want to hit the road. I want to talk to you guys. I want to demonstrate, because we have this awesome truck that shows all these crazy things. So let's hit the road and show how you should be traveling. So right now, Florida law talks about travel lanes that have 2 or more. Obviously, you can't drive to the left of a roadway if it's only a single lane, right? So when you're in the lanes, that specific law, the vague law that we were talking about, talks about how a driver shall drive to the right. The word shall being you must, you will. So anytime you're driving, you're supposed to be on the right-hand side. But if you are in the left and you're doing the speed limit and not impeding traffic, the law doesn't come at you too hard. And it makes it hard to enforce, because technically the other cars are speeding. You see what I'm talking about? So lawmakers were really trying to just flat out say, keep yourself to the right-hand side and flow with the moving traffic and leave that left lane clear. And for whatever reason, the governor vetoed that. So hopefully we can get that back into the books at some point and strengthen that law so that it's enforceable, and so that flow of traffic. I genuinely think the flow of traffic would be so much easier if drivers knew, hey, when I'm looking to the right, if it's clear, I should be there. I'm waiting for the light to turn green here, and we're going to hop on Maitland Boulevard. Maitland has multiple travel lanes, and we'll demonstrate a little bit of where you should be when you're driving, things like that. So beautiful morning today, but don't be mistaken. Rain chances are up. Meteorologist Julie Broughton. I love when I get to put the Met title on her. Julie, she's so awesome. Giving us a high percentage of rain today, currently 83, so it's not too bad this morning. But make sure you're weather aware. These, she said, they're not just storms. They have some tropical tendencies to them there. So they heavy rain, thunder, lightning, all that fun stuff. This is what we call tiptoeing. All right, light green, here we go. So if you're joining us this morning, we spent the first 7-8 minutes talking about the left lane law, really what the law says, what they were trying to fix, and basically what we're stuck with. And we're still stuck with the vague law. They really tried to designate the left lane as a passing lane only and define it, but it got vetoed one time and then it never passed committee the second time. So we're still stuck with this camping law, and this is a good example of it. So right here, we're eastbound Maitland Boulevard, and there's an RV in that far left travel lane, causing that white SUV to have to pass it on the right-hand side. Guys, I'm doing 64 miles an hour in a posted 65 zone. I'm in the far right lane. That RV should not be there, even under the current law. The current law says if you're below the posted speed limit, you shouldn't be there. That vehicle shouldn't be there. Why? Because it's causing the other vehicles behind me to have to pass it on the right-hand side. What does Florida law say about passing? Passing should be conducted on the left, not the right. And you can see here, now he's slowing his speed, and I'm even doing still the speed limit, and I'm passing him. This RV driver should not be there. Literally camping in the left lane. You can't make this stuff up. You can't. This is why I love live stuff. I think I got Penny to maybe giggle at that too, because I saw her pop up the banner and an RV. Come on. All right, so what we're gonna do. Oh, that was funny. Can you tell I'm tired? Okay, 55 zone, slowing it down, coming up on Rose, dropping down to 50 miles an hour here. So here, we're dropping into 2 lanes, right? I'm in the left lane. Steve, why are you there? Because I'm planning to make a left-hand turn. So Florida law would not be so hard on me here. Why? Because I got to get to the left at some point. We're going to make a U-turn and then head west and go back onto Maitland. But what an example that was. If there was heavier traffic when we were out there, would that RV have been causing an impeding issue out on the roadway? Absolutely. Just hanging out there doing, speed limit out there was what, 65? I was doing 64, passing it. So heavy traffic, everyone's moving at the same speed, suddenly you're causing issues. And the problem is when you are doing these little things, you don't realize the issue because the issue's not happening with you. It's happening maybe a mile back because of that disruption you're causing. You're just flowing like a clown, doing your thing. Meanwhile, the cars behind you are ticked off and you have no idea the road rage or the possible crash that you're causing down there. All right, so now we are westbound on Maitland Boulevard, right? 2 travel lanes. Technically, I know I'm entering a highway here. There are no other vehicles out on the roadway. The center lane would be authorized for you to just flow with. 55 miles an hour, posted 55 zone. I have the left lane clear out here. Why? Because I'm doing the speed limit. There is no reason that I should be sitting there. For example, when you're driving out here and, oh, hold on, we got some debris in the roadway. And that's the thing, you should always be paying attention far out. Debris in the left lane, move out of the way. So, we'll get back here. Demonstration purposes. Look, when you're out here traveling, it's more than just driving. This is maybe why I am the way I am, because I obsess over this stuff. It's more than just operating the car. One, you shouldn't even be paying attention to anything else going on. And you should be looking 100, 200 feet out. You shouldn't be paying attention to the car directly in front of you. Yes, pay attention to it, but you should be looking at the car in front of that so that you're prepared to take action. So you're driving out here, you're not paying attention, driving Miss Daisy around, and you're the only car on the road and you're in the left lane. When you look to the right, if it's clear, after you've cleared your obstructed views and things like that, you should be out of that left lane. You should be hanging out in the center or hanging out in the far right. There is no reason for you to be hanging out in the left lane. What's another good reason? It's the emergency response lane. Anytime an emergency vehicle comes up behind you, you should be yielding to the right. So if an emergency vehicle is responding somewhere, as a first responder, I'm telling you now, I'm going to the left side first. I want that lane. I want to be able to bypass other traffic, because if I'm trying to move somewhere and scoot somewhere and I'm hanging out on the right-hand side of the roadway, I'm now going to be mingling with other traffic trying to exit. Why do you think those express lanes on 528 between I-4 and the airport are all far pushed off on the left-hand side? And it says, if you're trying to get from point A to point B, use these. If not, stay out of them, because then that congestion stays to the right-hand side. That's what we want drivers to do. Stay to the right, flow with it so that left lane stays clear for either passing traffic or emergency traffic. Make sense? I'm not asking for a lot here, but then you also got to pay attention. Flashing lights ahead, Florida move over law applies. We give them some space. They're out here working, doing their thing. So guys, super easy stuff. And it's timely with Labor Day. There's a lot of extra cars out on the roadway. Obviously, if congestion hits up and you get yourself bumper to bumper, you can fill that left lane to keep that traffic moving. But as you're out on the roadway, you're going to be hanging out with a lot of people from out of town. You got to remember, we live here in Central Florida. A lot of people want to come here. So play it safe. It is an extended weekend for 80% of you guys, not me and not my team. So we will see you Monday morning. But this is what I want to do. I want to see you Monday morning, and I want to hear of such great things that you had this weekend, because so many people deserve the weekend off. So please, be responsible. Have a designated driver. If you are that designated driver, commit to being sober and being that designated driver. And then, of course, hey, camp in the woods and on the grass or the beach. Stay out of that left lane. Guys, I love you. I see you later. Drive safely. Trooper Steve out.